Yo, so I am back. It's been a minute. I just got out of therapy, and we were talking about seeing yourself outside of the macro, right? And you might be wondering what I'm talking about. When I say seeing yourself outside the macro, I mean take away the Venn diagram of how you interact with everybody else. Just hone in, focus in on you and how you are, your flaws, your character, right? Who you are, who you play, what your role in this life you're in, right? And so he was asking me what's a fictional character I feel I identify with, and it didn't take me long. I think I most identify with John Dutton of Yellowstone. Now, if you've ever watched Yellowstone, that might be alarming, but hear me out. Hear me out. So, I believe in the whole concept of staunch defender, even if you don't see it, right? I'm one of those people that will overcompensate and in some cases come off as controlling because I may feel I know a way and may want to prevent an outcome that I don't want to happen. And rather than spend the time to see it from your perspective or spend the time to understand the way you work or how you learn or how you adapt, I would much rather take it into control like myself and work from there. And he informed me that is a form of anxiety manifesting. Crazy to me. I thought I was graduating from it, but apparently anxiety manifests in various forms. One of the forms is control, right? He was likening me or like making the parallel of the person when you're driving in the passenger seat, always grabbing like the console, like the armrest, like flinching anytime you come to a stop that isn't necessarily to their liking or making a turn they wouldn't make. They freak out, you know? And yeah, I do that. I do that. I try to minimize deviation as much as possible. Now, I don't want to sound negative, but this is one of the reasons I knew personally I'm not ready for kids, because I can't handle the concept of someone making their own decision, even if I know what's better. Like them stepping outside of what I know is right or feel is right versus them learning for themselves is hard. Like, and what's crazy is I'm one of the main proponents of letting people bump their head to find out. I have a best friend. When it came to the matters of love and pursuing happiness, he will 1000% go for it, no matter what. And I've always admired that. But I just can't see myself being in that position to not say something. I feel like it's my obligation if I love you. Now, we led this into career. You know, we this is what we do. We go into all aspects, like, you know, leisure, career, business, pleasure. Like, we hit all of that shit. So I became a team leader. And one of the things I deal with is communication. I'm responsible for certain people, but I also want them to have the want to follow my lead, right? And I genuinely ask some people, you know, what can I do better, or what makes me fit to be the leader to you? And one of the responses was, I have the best interest in mind, and I lead by example. And so I'm trying to lean into that, but I'm still learning because I'm not used to leading. I originally did not want to lead. And I've heard the term before, the leaders are the ones who, you know, don't want to. So I'm trying to give myself grace in that aspect, but at the same time, I'm responsible now. I have people I have to account for. I have to be their voice in spaces where they're not heard. Now also, I'm still dealing with the growth of myself. understanding patience, understanding how people work, understanding that my Venn diagram of wants and needs for everybody isn't necessarily everybody's vision, and I have to be okay with that, you know. And it was just a learning experience in the form of a conversation I had today, and also something I'm dealing with. And you may have noticed this: I'm not producing as much content as I normally would, because frankly, I just have not had a lot to say. You know, with the way things have been going, the way things have been appearing, I'm just preserving my peace by moving forward and not looking at the phone. I highly encourage you guys to take a social media break or quit altogether. I know some people use business. I know that's how some people maintain in touch. But I'm going to tell you something interesting. We always talk about going back to the way old days were, right? One of those things were communication, reaching out. And I challenge you to reach out without using social media. After not using social media for over a month, I just didn't hear from certain people, right? Just stop messages, stop communicating. And so that lets me know that relationship was built on a medium that was not real. It was ethereal. It's not even, people say the internet is not real all the time, but sometimes your idea of people is not real. Sometimes your idea of a relationship is not it. A friendship is not really that. Sometimes you just so happen to be on the same post in the same algorithm at the same time. It's like a coworker. Not all coworkers are your friends. Sometimes you're just in the same space for this season. And I learned that so many people have not checked on me or asked or texted me. A lot of people have my phone number. And another thing I find is I also wasn't reaching out to people, right? So I made it a point to recently reach out to 2 people who I care about dearly, who I hadn't heard from, and just check on them. And one of them I just found out literally as they responded were leaving surgery. So as I was feeling this matter-of-factly kind of, oh my God, you actually hit me back finally, I realized that this person had their own life going on. And this goes back to the original point. Everybody has their own microcosm of things going on, I would love for this message to hit more men, because I think a lot of times we navigate through the day expecting certain things of people, or maybe you done so much that you feel you're due certain things, and you're not, man. That's just the reality of it. Some people have whole different things going on. And then maybe you may need to reevaluate what you think you are. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. You just need to prioritize accordingly. Make adjustments. I don't think that's a failure in any sort of way. And I was listening to a young lady today. She was saying everybody's afraid of failure. But failure literally precedes greatness. Stop being afraid of failure. Stop being afraid of looking silly. Stop being afraid of not getting the outcome you want. You may have to do it again. But what's interesting is everyone expects you to get it in the first go. Now, I'm going to share something that not a lot of people know is, as of right now, another reason I haven't been creating here is because I'm working on a music project. Yeah. We're about 3 tracks in. And I just haven't had, I'm going to be honest, just haven't had the motivation to do this that we're doing today, because I've just been refilling my battery. My battery has been so low creatively that it just feels good to not just create something just to worry about the number of listeners. I appreciate you who are hearing my words. I appreciate that you check. I appreciate that you download these episodes or however you listen to them. But understand, Just as like you got life and other things that pop up, so do I. And I need to take the self-care break for myself. I really want to produce this album and present it to the listeners. And I know that not everybody's going to fuck with it. It's not meant to fuck, not meant to be for everybody. It's just art I want to put out, right? That being said, man, this has been about a 10-minute conversation, and I'm about to work on something else I like. And yeah, I hope this conversation was fruitful. I look forward to hearing from you guys. If you're listening to this episode and you want to send me a question or send me a word of encouragement, shoot it to me. I'll get it. The website's right there. You already know. And this been your boy, Sir. And I'm taking care of me for right now. I appreciate you. I love you. Go outside. Get yourself something to eat. Get you some sunlight. And remember, to all my niggas, you that dude. And to all my ladies, you are her. Be great.